I sought Justin's forgiveness, but his for now left me uneasy. John Myers, with his stolen carefree pills, held Ian Smith's life in a precarious balance, while Joel desperately searched for a mysterious healer. My daughter's future at Golden Sunshine School seemed impossible, a world of elite families and hidden power. Then, a call from him shattered the fragile peace. What did he want? What new secrets would he reveal? And how far would I have to go to protect those I love? Everyone thought I couldn't get my daughter into an elite school because I wasn't rich. But little did they know, power isn't just about money. Melissa noticed me staring at the phone and gave me a curious look. "Aren't you going to answer that?" I hesitated for just a second before turning away and swiping to accept the call. "Hello." My voice remained steady. On the other end, a familiar rough voice. "Where are you?" "Sylvester Zob. I'm in New York, sir. What's the matter?" "Oh, a beat. The Smiths are looking for you. They want you to treat someone's illness." My fingers tapped lightly against the desk. "The Smiths? Ian Smith?" There was a slow pause before his response. "You don't have to go. He isn't sick. He just doesn't want to live anymore." That was unexpected. He continued. "His internal organs are failing. They're using the carefree pill to keep him alive. Even if you go over, can you make him regain his will to live?" A flicker of something unreadable crossed my mind. "I understand. Thank you for telling me, sir. Is there anything I can do for you?" Sylvester's tone softened. "Carrying on my skills in traditional medicine would be the best way of repaying me. That's all I ask. Let me know if you ever want me to visit." He scoffed. "You're not a kid anymore. Stop being so clingy. I'm hanging up." I stared at the phone for a moment before setting it down. Melissa's voice broke the silence. "What was that about?" I exhaled, my voice light but vague. "Oh, just an old teacher." When Cherry woke up the next morning, Nora was still asleep. Careful not to wake her mother, Cherry tiptoed across the room. She reached the study and slipped inside, closing the door gently behind her. She grabbed the phone, and a wide grin spread across her face as she dialed Chester's number. "Chesty, are you ready?" she asked. Chester's voice came through the speaker. "Of course. I've already registered a live stream account for you, so you can officially start now." "Okie dokie," she excitedly said, immediately turning on her mother's computer. Within a minute, she joined the live stream. On the other end, Chester's voice shifted into an animated professional tone. "Hello, everyone. This is Chesty," he announced. "Today I'm introducing a new friend to all of you. She's my team leader." Yes, she's none other than the cutie who loves playing as the heroine with the huge cannon. Everyone, please show her lots of support. Back in the Smith mansion, Ian Smith's tired eyes fluttered open, his body weak. Beside him, Joel sat in silence. The moment Ian moved, Joel reached for his uncle's frail hand. "Uncle Ian, our family still needs you," he murmured. "I can't lead them alone. You have to stay." Ian studied him for a long moment. "You're doing just fine on your own, Joel," Ian said. Joel lowered his gaze. Without another word, he reached for Ian's phone and held it out. "You used to love games," he said. "This one's really popular now. Want to give it a try?" Ian barely spared the screen a glance before shaking his head. "I wouldn't know how to play." Joel didn't push. "That's fine. Watching can be fun too." With a few taps, he pulled up a live stream and set the phone in front of Ian. The screen brightened and a young, excited voice filled the space. "Chesty, why are my points so low?" The voice was high-pitched, playful, filled with life. A soft chuckle followed. "That's because the points depend on fan tips," Chester explained. "You don't have many fans yet. Come on, everyone. I always get trashed by Sweet Cherry in game. Time for me to win at something." Ian's gaze remained locked onto the screen, but his mind drifted beyond that moment. Sweet Cherry. The name echoed in his mind, pulling him into a memory he had buried long ago. Yvette's alias had been Lollipop. He could still hear her laughter, the way she had teased him when he mocked her choice. "What's wrong with that?" she had said, her voice light, amused. "If I have a daughter someday, I'll call her Sweet Cherry. Will be so sweet you'll die from a sugar rush." On the screen, the live-streamed battle continued. Sweet Cherry was struggling, her points far behind Chester's. For the first time in years, a hint of interest was seen in Ian's eyes. "How do I send tips?" Joel quickly navigated the app, showing Ian where to tap. "You just tap here and choose an amount." With what little strength he had left, Ian lifted his finger and pressed the highest option available. The screen erupted with a flood of virtual gifts. Bright animations burst across the live chat, pushing Sweet Cherry's score up in an instant. A sharp gasp came from the speakers. "Whoa, where did all those points come from?" Cherry's voice rang out. Chester sounded equally stunned. "Wait, who just sent that?" Ian didn't answer. He simply watched with a small smile. At Hunt Mansion, Justin sat at his desk, scrolling through his phone absent-mindedly. Across from him, Pete was studying. Something on the screen caught Justin's attention. Chester's live streaming? He clicked the link. Instantly, the screen filled with the sound of an excited, high-pitched voice. "Sponsor Grandpa, as thanks for the big tips, I'll tell you some trivia." "Sponsor? Grandpa?" His smirk was subtle. Without hesitation, he flicked his fingers across the screen, sending a $150,000 tip. A beat. Cherry's voice grew even more excited. "Wow. Another big tip from a new sponsor? But I already have a sponsor, Grandpa." A notification flashed. Another $150,000 tip. "Sponsor Grandpa, you're back. Love you." Justin's eyes darkened slightly as he checked the top donor list. "Grandpa?" A third $150,000 tip was sent with ease. On the other end of the stream, Cherry's voice turned slightly confusing. "Chesty, what do I do? Which one should be sponsor Grandpa?" Chester, who had been busy handling the stream, muttered something under his breath before deciding to investigate. "Hang on, I need to see who's throwing money at you." A brief pause followed. Then, Justin? Chester's voice cracked with disbelief. Cherry let out a squeal of delight. "Daddy, sponsor Daddy," she tried to correct herself. A brief pause. Then, as if suddenly deciding to flee from the situation, she quickly added, "All right, I'm logging off now. Bye, sponsor Daddy. Bye, sponsor Grandpa. By the way, what are you having for lunch today?" "We're gonna have beef steak. That's my favorite food. Gotta go now." The stream ended abruptly. Back at the Smith mansion, beeping of the heart monitor filled Ian's bedroom. Stepping inside, Joel expected the same lifeless routine. But today something was different. He paused, taken aback by the sight of Ian still watching the live stream. Joel hesitated before speaking. "Uncle Ian, is there anything you'd like for lunch today?" Normally there would be no response, no interest, just the same vacant, disinterested shrug. But this time, Ian didn't hesitate. "Steak, I suppose." His voice was calm, steady, almost natural. Joel blinked. Steak. His uncle hadn't eaten meat in years. He didn't know what had caused it, but for once, Ian was present. A small, relieved smile tugged at his lips. "All right," he said, nodding. "Steak it is." Back at Anderson Villa, I slung Cherry's school bag over my shoulder and made my way downstairs. Melissa's voice called out, "Where are you going, Nora?" "To an interview." Her expression shifted slightly. "At Golden Sunshine Kindergarten?" I nodded, "But we haven't secured an appointment yet. I've asked my family, but they haven't responded." Before I could respond, the loud scrape of a chair cut through the air. My attention landed on a man I'd never met before. Logan, Melissa's son, Cheryl's twin. I knew of him but had never seen him in person. He had been away for a long time, living independently, only returning when he heard about the situation. "Mom, did the Woods family pressure you again?" His tone was skeptical. "Never mind that, Logan." But he wasn't so easily brushed off. Crossing his arms, he asked, "Does attending that kindergarten even matter?" Melissa's demeanor shifted. "Nora's situation is different. If Cherry doesn't get in, it'll be harder for Nora to settle here." I observed Logan quietly as he started shaking his head. "Even if she gets a recommendation letter, she won't pass the interview." Melissa responded in a measured tone. "That's why I need you to accompany her." Logan blinked. "Me?" Melissa nodded. "Yes, help her. She's family." For a moment, Logan just stood there. Finally, he nodded slightly. I finally spoke. "You don't have to beg them. I already have an interview spot." Melissa and Logan both turned to me, surprised. Melissa's voice came first. "How did you get it, Nora?" "We can do this later," Logan said. "We don't want to be late for the interview now, do we?" When Cherry and I walked outside, we found Logan leaning against a flashy yellow Ferrari, arms crossed. "Are you coming or not?" he asked. "Nice car," I said, whistling lightly. Cherry, however, was far more enthusiastic. "It's so cool. When I grow up, I want a pink one." I smirked, glancing down at her. "Sure." Logan scoffed, and without another word, he slid into the driver's seat. "Just get in," he muttered. "We don't want to be late." Cherry and I exchanged a look. Then, without hesitation, We took a step back in unison. No way. Our voices overlapped perfectly. Logan's head snapped up. What? Cherry scrunched her nose in disgust. I hate poop yellow. I nodded in agreement. It's ugly. Logan looked personally offended, as if we had insulted his very existence. His gaze followed us as we turned away from the Ferrari and walked toward a sleek black Mercedes SUV parked nearby. Cherry waved him over. Logan, drive us in this one. For a moment, he just stared. Then sighing deeply, he pushed himself off the Ferrari and made his way over. He pulled open the driver's door of the SUV and slid in, shaking his head. This was your decision, he grumbled. Don't blame me if things don't go your way. Cherry and I got in the back seat. I asked, you into racing? His expression changed in an instant. The frustration faded, replaced by passion. Yeah, he said. Cherry clapped her hands together. Can we come next time? Logan hesitated at first. But then he nodded. Okay. Cherry beamed. Wow! All race car drivers are so cool. The uniforms look awesome too. Who's your favorite racer? Logan smirked. Yancey. He's an international racer and truly impressive. He's my idol. Cherry leaned forward, lowering her voice to a whisper. Do you know who Yancey really is? I'll tell you a secret. Before she could finish, my phone rang. I answered immediately. Hello? Lisa's voice came through the line, urgent. Nora, brace yourself. I think Uncle Henry's planning something big to destroy you. Lisa's urgent warning hung in the air. Henry was planning my destruction. What did that even mean, and why? My mind raced. What was Henry's endgame? How could I shield Cherry from whatever he was plotting? And what was the secret Cherry held about Yancey, Logan's idol? Could it be connected to Henry? Would I be able to keep her safe while fighting a battle I couldn't even see?